Hey sports fans, if you were seeing my ugly mug and this beautiful smile, that means it's time for golf coverage again here in San Diego, and I'm excited. I mean, I'm always excited about sports, but I'm excited every time I get to share a couple minutes with you, Jack, because it seems like every time we're back here talking about another season, we're talking about actually the most competitive field of any of the sports in high school sports in San Diego, with future professionals and amazing dynamics of individuals versus teams and all sorts of goodness. So right now we are around a little bit past the halfway mark, sort of in the beginning of that back stretch. Everyone's gotten the rust off. We actually sort of have a little bit of a feel for who and what are the best teams.
Right.
So do we start, can we go straight into the top 10?
Let's do it.
Now, do we want to do this 1 to 10, or are we a 10 to 1 group?
I'm kind of a 1 to 10 group today.
Okay,
how's that?
Hey, 1 to 10 works
especially since this is our first up. So.
And I will say this, that number 1, yes, he does want to get to that, because number 1 is one of his golfers. That is Brooksay.
Yeah, it's really fun on the individual level. We have actually the last 3 CIF champions. So Brooksay,
Brianna Navarroso,
followed by Brianna
from Mater Dei Catholic,
right?
And then Lauren Gomez from Point Loma,
who won last year, and all really,
And that is just the top 3.
Great players, and they're the only 3 that are averaging under par at this point. But
so they sort of
really
distinguish themselves just a little bit above the rest of the group. But
yeah,
I will say by no means does this top 10 actually mean anything, because the guys' game last year, James Song was not in it because he missed a bunch of tournaments, and then he sets the course record in the finals, and you just rip the piece of paper in half.
Oh yeah, and
but it's a good confidence measure.
It is, and I think that you've got, a really good group of girls, all in that top 25, and on any given day they can all play up. So
well, let's move down to the next 3. We have
really fun.
We have Krista Izuguiza from Coronado.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about her.
She's a freshman and new to it, and I'm excited to see how she performs from here.
You love seeing the underclassmen jump straight into it.
I really
not have that learning curve of you'll get to it by junior or senior year. It's future LPGA member Brooksay, and then a couple of 14-year-old freshmen chasing right behind her.
Exactly.
In the 5 and 6 seed, we have a pair of Mater Dei Crusaders in Ivana Montemayor and Estabeli Garcia. What do you see out of them, but also out of having 3 Mater Dei Catholic Crusaders in the top 6?
Well, we can jump up and say Mater Dei is the team this year. I mean, they've distanced themselves from the rest of the field. They have a 5-shot, lead stroke average on the rest of the field. They look really strong. Coach Alex is a really fine coach, and I think they're definitely the team to beat. So no doubt about it.
I'm glad you bring that up, because that segues seamlessly, like we actually planned it, into our 7 and 8, Vanessa Ho and Stephanie Heimler, both from Rancho Bernardo, because I would have said RB is the team to beat, just out of the fact that we got to address, they've broken the century mark. They're at 101 wins in a row.
Amazing, isn't it?
Which is absolutely unbelievable. And yet you say that they are not the team to beat.
No, I mean, Rancho Bernardo, they've just been great for a long time.
Well, help us put into context what 100 regular season wins in a row means.
Well, it depends on who you're playing. It could be one way to look at it, but they're a really fine team, and that is very challenging, getting all of your players to show up every day.
But just the level of
consistency.
Match.
Consistently, exactly. So it's really a tribute to them. I think that's just, it's really awesome. Really awesome.
In the 9 seed, we have Jasmine Laval from El Camino, and then in the 10, Brooke Ryback from OLP. So just as soon as we're talking about top teams, blue chip programs, we flip right back to here comes individuals from newer, lesser known, lesser established programs, and they're throwing themselves in the mix.
Absolutely, and Brooke has been at OLP here playing a couple of years. She's just a really nice young lady, and I guess I say that about so many of the girls, but all that I've had contact with, I can say that it's just a good experience. So, and Brooke is no exception at OLP.
Well, and isn't that sort of what makes it interesting about the playoff scenario, is that we're looking at this, and yes, there will be a ton of focus on Tori's team, on Rancho Bernardo's team, on Mater Dei's team. But then at the same time, you're looking at this and going, we could have OLP on top of all of this if Brooke swings really well the last 2 weeks. She could charge in, and we could have, yes, Mater Dei and RB, and that side of it all plays out exactly how it was supposed to. But then someone like Lauren Gomez from Point Loma sweeps in last year as a freshman, and that's just, to me, seems like where this, you have no idea. You cannot project out from the season how the playoffs are going to go.
Well, we've had a freshman win in each of the last 3, so I'm not sure that we're going to break that jinx. So I love seeing freshmen come in and win the individual and CIF.
Well, one of the freshmen that we absolutely need to talk about is Taylor Riley. She's part of a really young group at Point Loma. Mary Damien, she's a sophomore. Taylor Riley, freshman.
Right.
Finally get a little bit of power, firepower behind Lauren Gomez. But that Riley name, it's a little bit bigger than just her here in San Diego's golf scene.
Well, we don't want to hang a moniker around someone, but
yes, we do.
Okay.
We're the media. We want to put undue pressure and context on kids.
Taylor, I had the privilege of meeting her a few weeks back. What a wonderful, engaging, delightful young lady. I mean, it was a privilege to meet her, and you may know the name because her dad is the coach, Chris Riley at USD, and was a Ryder Cupper. And his wife Michelle, her mom, is just a terrific golfer, so nice pedigree, and she's newer to the sport, but she's going to be fantastic, and as I say, such a nice family, great. So seeing Point Loma with Mary Damien, who we've talked about last year. Mary played so well the first day of CIF. She, for me, Mary is a young lady that I think is kind of that dark horse. I know we talked about it last year, but I think she has a chance to
as
really...
maybe an extension of that Point Loma right now, your dark horse team.
Yes, I mean they're in 6th spot. Can they overtake Mater Dei? Doubtful. Could they get into 2nd? It's possible.
Okay.
I mean, they're, I think all their players, Mary, Taylor, Lauren, they're just going to keep getting better as the season goes on.
Well, it helps when you're talking about 2 sophomores and a freshman, one of whom already has a CIF championship under her belt.
Exactly.
Sort of playing with a little bit of a loaded deck in terms of potential there. It certainly is nice to see.
Yeah, it's great. And a school like Point Loma, we're used to the Tories and the Scripps and the bigger schools, and not that Point Loma is that small, but it's really nice to see.
It's not an overpowering, dominant powerhouse out there winning it every year where you're kind of like, we get it.
Yeah,
you're better than everybody else.
Yeah, so it should be really fun this year.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a little bit over a month until the playoffs start.
Right.
So now is really when we start to see league play and the more head-to-head type matchups where you can start to actually say, okay, that is a better reflection of what we are actually going to say is the best golfer or the best team. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And that'll continue to sort itself out as we get closer. And I think there will be, I don't think we'll see a lot of change in the top 6. I think we could see
tops. Now, are we talking individuals or teams?
Teams.
Okay.
We could see. We could see a little bit of a change there, but particularly in the 4, 5, and 6 position, Point Loma could move into 4th. It could happen. They could stay in 6th. Then we have a little distance as we go down from there. So those are the teams to concentrate on.
Well, and that's why we are here, so we can concentrate on them for you, San Diego, and distill it down into just a couple of minutes. We will be back next week and every week after that for the rest of the season as things start to get fun. I mean, you're off today. You have a match later today against who?
Well, we're playing La Jolla.
Okay.
And so it'll be a lot of fun today.
Very nice.
They have some really nice players for their team too. Briz, great, and nice. It'll be fun.
Well, we got teams, we got individuals, we got all sorts of goodness. You can find the entire rankings of all the players, individual and team-wise, on the CIF website. We'll provide all the links for that, so you guys, it's updated
Right.
every couple of days. Aaron Quisnell from La Jolla made an amazing formula that all makes this work so perfectly, so you can track
Terrific.
how
Yeah.
everyone throughout the county is doing. We know we don't have time, unfortunately, to get to all of the golfers, but there are
Right.
so many great stories to talk about. We'll be back next week with a couple more. For Coach Jack Klein, I'm Christian Pedersen. Thank you very much for watching.